Mavericks today by Chat Sports. I'm Jeffrey Cooperstein. Great to be with you guys on a Monday afternoon, and things are looking up for the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks currently sit ninth in the Western Conference playoff standings, and not only does that mean they're in a spot to be in the play-in, but it means they get to host a play-in game. Now, the Mavericks would still have to win 2 games in a row in order to make the 2025 NBA playoffs, but hosting a game certainly does make it easier on this Dallas Mavericks team. And you know what else makes it easier? The imminent return of both Daniel Gafford and Dereck Lively. Gafford listed as probable to play tonight against the Brooklyn Nets. Dereck Lively listed as questionable. He could play tonight, but he also could make his return on Wednesday against the Atlanta Hawks. And getting both of the bigs is obviously huge in return, where Daniel Gafford, who the Mavericks acquired at the 2024 NBA trade deadline, was a big help to getting the Mavericks to the NBA Finals. He started some games. He's come off the bench. Very good shot blocker, having his best offensive season of his career this year before he got hurt. And it really felt like he was making a home in Dallas. And obviously Dereck Lively, who the Mavericks traded down in the 2024 NBA draft to go and get. They get Dereck Lively in the 23 draft, They get Dereck Lively, and he becomes a cornerstone for this franchise. And what this allows to do with both of these guys returning is it allows Anthony Davis to play the 4, which is what both the Davis and the Mavericks want him to do long term. AD is a great center, but him playing at center will tax his body much more than him playing at the 4. He'll still be able to shot block, he'll still be able to rebound, but he can affect the game on the defensive end much easier at the 4 than he can at the 5. So if the Mavericks are fully healthy, obviously Kyrie without the injury, I think you'll see the likes of PJ Washington at the 3, Anthony Davis at the 4, and then either Gafford or Lively at the 5. And all of a sudden, the Mavericks are one of the most long and athletic teams in the front court. So it'll be interesting to see how Mavs head coach Jason Kidd wants to, balance the rotation and whatnot, whether or not Gafford and Lively are on minutes restrictions. I assume they will be, as both of them are coming back from 6+ week injuries. So we'll see what happens there, but it's exciting that the Mavericks are finally getting their bigs back. They're finally getting healthy, and it feels like they're going to make a push towards the NBA postseason, which if you would have asked me 10 days ago, I would have told you the Mavericks are dead in the water. In fact, I did tell you that they're dead in the water. I would have told you to lose the rest of the games and try to get the best draft pick as possible. But right now, it certainly seems like the Mavericks are set on trying to make the play-in and trying to make some noise in the play-in. Who are you more excited to see return, though? Is it Daniel Gafford or Dereck Lively? Type 21 if you think it's Gafford, or type 2 if you think it's Dereck Lively down in the comment section. This will be the pinned comment, and in just a couple seconds, I'm going to tell you guys about our sponsor, which is PrizePicks. So while I'm doing that, go on down there and get your votes in who you are more excited to see return from injury. The sponsor of today's show is, of course, PrizePicks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. PrizePicks has over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, making daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. Springtime is here, which means baseball season is also here. So don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your PrizePicks lineup. Whether it's strikeouts, RBI, or first inning runs, take your pick of more or less for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash today. I've showed you my picks for the season-long projections with Paul Skeens on the more. I took the more on Corey Seager home runs, and I took the more on Adolis Garcia RBI. So you can copy my picks, or you can make a lineup of your own. Just please make sure you do it with our friends over at PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get that $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to receive that bonus. It is guaranteed. Again, download the app, use code CLNS to get that $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. That link will be in the comments and the description of today's show. It is PrizePicks. Run your game. Obviously, transitioning to a little bit of the playoff talk here. The Phoenix Suns are in a world of trouble as Kevin Durant rolled his ankle last night as well, so he's hurt again. We don't know the exact timetable of Durant's injury, but that puts Phoenix in a hell of a spot here with less than 10 games remaining in the season, and the Mavericks currently sitting in 9th place. When you look at the standings right now, the Mavericks currently in 9th, Sacramento a half game behind them, and then Phoenix is 2 games behind the Mavericks, and they are a game and a half behind Sacramento. So Phoenix is in a world of trouble right now. And it certainly feels like the Mavericks are going to be playing more than 82 games this season, which, like I said, that would have absolutely shocked me if you would have told me that 10 days ago. I will say, I want to give a lot of credit to Mavs head coach Jason Kidd here because given everything that's going on with the Luka trade, with all the injuries that have happened, with all the two-way guys running out of eligibility, the circumstances have certainly stacked up against the Mavericks, but I do think that Jason Kidd has done a really good job of keeping this team together. And the team is also playing really hard for each other. It feels like every night they're going out there and they are fighting for their lives. And that is what they're doing right now. They are fighting for their lives. And the much needed reinforcements of Gafford and Lively getting back to the lineup will help, especially because Kessler Edwards is out of eligibility. I believe Brandon Williams and Kai Jones are both coming up on their eligibility deadlines as well. So the Mavs will be shorthanded once again, but hopefully they'll get some of these reinforcements back here. And they should be able to beat the Brooklyn Nets shorthanded. We saw them play Brooklyn last week. They're an absolute joke of a team. So hopefully the Mavs can go get a win tonight, and then they'll have a semi-difficult game against the Atlanta Hawks on Wednesday. And they can kind of get this thing rolling a bit and try to get themselves in a good position to host a play-in game, to get themselves the right to play for a game to go to the NBA playoffs. And if they end up being that 8th seed and they play the Oklahoma City Thunder, I'm not saying they're going to win that series, but I do think they would make it a series, and it would be an interesting series to see. We know the Mavericks have Golden State's number, whether that's Jason Kidd, whether it was Luka in his time here. I don't know what the exact formula is. PJ Washington seems to love playing against the Thunder. So if the Mavs do end up facing the Thunder in a first-round series, like I said, I'm not sure I'd pick the Mavericks to win said series, but it would certainly be an interesting series nonetheless. So that's the latest update here. Daniel Gafford probable for tonight's game against the Brooklyn Nets. Dereck Lively listed as questionable. He could play, but look for him to play maybe Wednesday against the Atlanta Hawks. Do you think the Mavericks are going to make the NBA playoffs? Not the play-in, but the playoffs. Type Y for yes or type N for no. Let me know down below in the comment section. And that will be it for today's show, guys. Appreciate you for tuning in. This is an at-home edition. I'm headed to Europe, so if anything happens, I'll try to get you guys an at-home video there, but we'll see about the Wi-Fi over in Europe. If not, we'll get something on the channel for sure. We will have you covered here no matter what on Mavericks Today, so hit that sub button. It's youtube.com/MavsTV, and we'll see you soon here on the channel.